We have made this short film because we know that going to court about a family problem without a solicitor is, for most people, a very frightening and stressful experience, and we want to help. In this film, we're going to do our best to answer the questions people worry about most and show you simple tips that will help you put your side as well as you can. This film doesn't deal with the law. For more information about family law and the things that a judge would consider, please see our guides at www.advicenow.org.uk/going to court. In this film, there is a judge, but your case might be heard by 2 or 3 magistrates instead. Similarly, we've assumed the hearing will happen in a courtroom, but don't be put off if your case is heard in something that looks more like an office meeting room. First of all, what to wear. You just want to show the judge that you are taking this seriously. If you own a suit or smart dress, then wear that. But don't worry about buying one if you don't. Just be as clean and tidy as you can. It's difficult to know how long the hearing will take. So if you have children, arrange for a friend to collect them from school. Don't bring children with you to the court unless you've been specifically told to. Make sure you know how to get to the court and leave plenty of time. You don't want to add to your stress by not being able to find it. Arrive there at least 30 minutes early. When you get here, make sure you sign in so that the court knows you have arrived. This time immediately before the hearing is also a good chance to remind your ex and their solicitor, if they have one, what you would like included in any agreement if you were to reach one. And when it is time to go in, remember to switch off your phone. So, inside the court. Don't worry too much about where to sit. Sometimes a court clerk or usher will take you into the court and show you where. But if they don't, just go and sit at the front, and your ex will sit on the other side. If you have any questions, the usher is a good person to ask. Don't worry about what to call the judge. Sir or madam is fine. The most important thing is to always be polite. If they want you to call them something particular, they'll tell you. When it is your turn to speak, or when the judge comes in, stand up. The judge will let you know if you don't need to. Preparing well is really important. It will enable you to explain yourself better and help stop you from getting too flustered or emotional.
Madam, I want to make 4 points. The first point is about the living arrangements between myself and my ex. Currently, I've moved out of what was our family home. I'm still paying for our mortgage. I'm paying the council tax and the utility bills.
I don't agree with my ex-husband's points at all.
David was well prepared, and you could see it made it easier for him. David had brought all his court papers and organised them so that he could quickly find what he needed. He had prepared a list of points he wanted to make and had put them in order. He'd obviously practiced what he wanted to say, and he brought paper and pens so that he could make a note of anything important. It's a bit of an exaggeration, but as you could see, Sandra was less well prepared, and it made it a more stressful experience for her. It made it harder for her to put forward her case well, and she risked irritating the judge. Sandra hadn't brought all her court papers, hadn't prepared what she wanted to say. She hadn't brought anything to make notes with, and she'd forgotten to switch off her phone. OK, let's carry on watching.
Madam, while my former wife has always had custody of the boys, the truth is that they've always had regular weekend contact with me at my domicile until they told her about my new partner, at which time she's endeavoured to prevent all contact. She's attempting, maliciously, truthfully, to turn them against me. Out of what? Jealousy and petty bitterness. And she's engaging in subterfuge and other things. And that's why I'm here.
Madam, that's not true. I have never wanted to stop him from seeing the boys. In fact, both boys got on really well with his last girlfriend and were very upset when they could no longer see her after the relationship ended. Joe, in particular, was really angry with his dad.
Well, that's a lie. You're just making stuff up now. He was playing it up to you, and that's the truth of the matter. The way he was at school had nothing to do with what was happening with me and my relationship, and everything to do with what went on with you at home in the week.
For a few weeks, he was regularly in trouble at school, which is explained in this letter from the school. And when, a few weeks later, David introduced them...
This time, Sandra did really well. She was polite and calm throughout. She spoke clearly and slowly and watched to see if the judge had finished making notes before she made her next point. When she disagreed about something, she didn't interrupt, but politely raised her hand so that the judge could see that she had something to say. When she did say what she disagreed with, she said it to the judge rather than to her ex directly. David was less effective. He talked in long sentences and tried to speak like a lawyer for the TV when plain English would do better. He spoke fast, which is easy to do when you're nervous, but it was too fast for the judge who was making notes to keep up with. He got angry and criticised Sandra. He interrupted Sandra and tried to argue with her rather than talk to the judge.
So, Mr. Wells, have you made efforts to maintain indirect contact?
I'm sorry, could you say that again? I don't really understand.
For example, have you phoned or written to them?
Yes, we've been texting.
Miss Tundall, your concern is that it's too early in the relationship for Ryan and Joe to meet with Miss McKenna?
Well, it is too soon, isn't it? What's he going to do? Introduce them to every woman he ever meets? And she's so young. It's confusing. She's more their age than she is his. I don't care what he does in his own time.
David did really well. When he didn't understand a question, he just said so. He listened carefully to the questions and tried to give to-the-point answers. He stayed calm and polite throughout. Whereas Sandra, she lost her calm and was rude and argumentative. Instead of briefly answering the questions, she repeated the point she wanted to make again. As you could see, this time, Sandra did less well. So, what have we seen? Preparation is really important. Organise your paperwork and bring copies of anything you might need with you to the court. Work out what your main points are and write them down. Practice what you want to say at home. When you're talking in court, speak clearly and slowly. Try to use short sentences and don't try to sound like a lawyer off the TV. Always be polite and calm. Speak to the judge, not to your ex directly. Don't interrupt. If you disagree about something, just signal to the judge that you have something to say and wait. When you're answering questions, whether that is from the judge or the other side, stay calm. Give brief, clear answers. Try to just answer the question and not make the other points you wanted to make again. If you couldn't understand or couldn't hear, just say so. And that's it. For further helpful advice on how to prepare and manage your case, go to www.advicenow.org.uk/going to court. Good luck.